Hi, welcome to the FNM Crusader. So this is going to be our first video, and it's going to be a deck tech. So we're just going to talk about some cards. We're going to talk about my Azorius deck, and I really like it. It can be called Esper, but it only runs 2 black spells, so whatever. We're going to start off with our lands. We have 9 plains and 7 islands, so that's just nice to have. We have a Drowned Catacomb, which is an untapped land for black or blue mana. You have Glacial Fortress, which is an untapped land for white or blue mana. And then we have a Shock land, so you can pay 2 when it comes in, and then just pay white or blue with it. So that's nice. Then we have Moorland Haunt. Moorland Haunt is a land where you can tap a blue and a white, and then you can tap the land itself and make a 1/1 flying spirit. So it's just nice to have. Then we're going to get on to our creatures. We have Realm Right, which is a 1/1. Really, its only purpose is to mana fix, and it does that really well. You can choose a basic land type, and all your lands are that basic land type. So if you choose, like, say, swamps, then all your lands can produce black mana. So it's just nice to have. Then we have Azorius Arrestor, which is basically a detain spell. But he's also a creature, so he's a 2/1. And he can get in there sometimes if your opponent's really slow. Then we have Syncopate. It's been played in a Pro Tour. You just pay X. And if the opponent can't play X, then they get their spell countered. We have 4 Think Twices, which are 2 mana draw cards with flashback. And we also have Feeling of Dread, which is 2 cost, tap 2 creatures with flashback, and Azorius Charm, which is a blue and a white, and you get to do a bevy of abilities. So you should really look up Azorius Charm if you don't know what it does, but all the flashback spells really help us get extra value out of our cards. So we're also going to talk about our 3 drops, which are Night Veil Spectre, 2/3 flyer with whenever it hits the opponent, you can steal the top card of their library and play it. Sometimes you won't have the mana, but like in this deck you can sometimes actually pull it off with a card that I'm going to show you later. Liev Sky Knight is just a 3 cost, 3/1 flyer with detain. So when he comes onto the battlefield, just detain target non-land permanent. You can detain planeswalkers, which is really funny because people don't expect it. So people sometimes forget it too. Okay, so then we're going to talk about Nevermore. Nevermore is just a ban card. You can just say, I don't want that to be played, in your opponent's deck, and then they can't play it, so whatever. We also have Detention Spheres. I'm going to show you it. It's a card that exiles target non-land permanent, and you get to exile all target non-land permanents with the same name. So it gets rid of creatures, and if there's more than 1 on the battlefield, then it's too bad for your opponent, because they're going to lose it. Okay, so next thing we're going to talk about, Chromatic Lanterns. Chromatic Lanterns give you access to every kind of mana, so all your lands just tap for any kind of mana, and then it really helps out with mana troubles, and it also helps out with playing your opponent's things with Night Veil Spectre. So it all works out. We're going to move on next to our 4 drops. We have 3 Dungeon Geists, which are 3/3 flyers that tap something permanently when they come in. When I say permanently, I mean as long as Dungeon Geist is on the battlefield, but usually they don't get removed in my FNM experience. So then we have 2 Rewinds, which are counterspells that allow you to untap the mana that they used. So it's nice to have, because we have a lot of instants and sorceries we can use it with. We have Sleep, which is basically a field wipe. You can tap all creatures a target player controls and they don't untap. Supreme Verdict, which just kills all creatures. It's uncounterable too. So then we're on to our 5 drops, I call them. The only one that's not really a 5 drop is Entreat the Angels. And I'll just show it to you. It makes X 4/4 Angels, where you pay X, and 3 white. And you can also have Miracle, which if you draw it at the beginning of your turn, then you get to put that many 4/4 Angels on the battlefield. So if you get the Miracle, you basically won. But otherwise, it's just a nice finisher, because you usually have more mana than the other player when you're running this deck, just because of all the mana fixing and draw. So next we're going to go on to Tamiyo the Moonsage. I have to show this. She's my favorite card. If I had 4, then I would run 4, but I only have 1, so I run 1. She taps target creatures and they don't untap. Well, she taps target lands and they don't untap. She taps target anything and it doesn't untap. So, just fantastic. -2, she can draw cards for all the tap creatures that target player controls. So if you control 3 tap things, she draws 3 tapped cards. It has nice synergy with Dungeon Geists, and her ultimate is that you can, whenever something goes to the graveyard, you can put it back into your hand, and from anywhere actually, which is fantastic. And she also gives you no maximum hand size. So Tamiyo, if you kill her while doing this, then you just get her straight back to the hand. And you can replay any spells that you just want to replay. The only limit you have is how much mana you have. So if you get her ultimate, you basically win the game. And it's pretty easy to get her ultimate. It's deceptively easy. So our last 5-drop is Devastation Tide. It's just a return all non-land permanents to their opponent's hand. Includes yours, which I don't like. I'd really want to get some Cyclonic Rifts if I were the player running this deck, and I am, so I really need Cyclonic Rifts. But you can also pay 5. If you miracle it, then you can pay 2, so whatever. And then our last cards that we're going to talk about are our 6 drops. And they're Merciless Eviction. 4 colorless, 1 white, 1 black. I'll show it up to the camera. You can choose one, exile all planeswalkers, creatures, or artifacts, even enchantments. So, it's just it gets rid of pretty much everything. If there's pesky planeswalkers on your tail, then just exile them. If there's creatures that are indestructible, exile them. If there are artifacts that you don't like, exile them. Even if there are enchantments, just exile them. So I like the versatility of the card, and I definitely like how it gets rid of planeswalkers, because sometimes this deck cannot get rid of them, and they're really pesky once they hit the field. So that's the Azorius deck tech, and I'm going to show you a playtest of it. I'll also probably show you the FNM I run it at. So until next time, this is the FNM Crusader. Peace.